Good morning. This is Chaplain Boone. I just wanted to take a few moments and share with you today some devotional thoughts as you're going through another one of those tough periods of time with everything that's taking place with the protest and then, of course, the looting and the rioting. It's always amazing in life for any of us, including myself as a pastor, really people refer to as the one percenters, but really it's the less than one percenters that do things that impact everyone within that profession. And when you look at that with these police officers and the impact that their actions are having upon every good, decent, and law abiding and great police officer in this country is kind of just is really a shame in every sense of the word. Watching the looting and the vandalism and the arson that's been taking place, kind of takes us to a different place of how we react to things, how we respond to things. And, I look at those things and look at the people doing these things, and I wonder, as they're protesting, quote unquote, injustice, do they realize their own criminality at this point, that they have become thieves, they have become arsonists, vandals, and so should justice be applied to them? But the only thing that we can control is us and how we respond to different situations and to different people. It made me think of the story of King David before he's ever a king. Remember, he's anointed at a fairly young age, 16, 17-ish to be the king. He actually becomes a part of King Saul's army and household and a servant of King Saul before he ever becomes king. As a soldier, he becomes extremely effective. He is made to be one of the commanders for Israel. And again, just tremendous success in those roles to the point that King Saul, who already knew that God has rejected him, that God was going to replace him as the king, becomes extremely jealous of David, not King David, but of David, and gets so delirious in that jealousy that on two different occasions he tries to kill David. David decides the best thing that he could do is not to try to diffuse the situation, but just get away from the situation. And so David goes into the desert areas and the borderlands of Israel, and he hides basically in caves. But that's not good enough for King Saul. King Saul takes some of his army and he goes in pursuit of David. And he wants to kill him. He wants to find him. He wants to kill him. He sees him as a threat. He wants him gone. We're told in the scriptures, and this is what I want you to catch, that there's two different times where King Saul comes looking for David, but David gets, quote unquote, the drop on Saul and has the perfect opportunity on two different occasions to kill him, to put this thing to an end, but he refuses to do so. Now, he fully acknowledges to King Saul that he could have killed him. And King Saul both times said, I'm going to back away and, you're right, I'm wrong. And then he would turn around and try to do it again. Why would David do that? Well, first of all, David understood that God was letting Saul be the king. It was not his time to be the king. This was in God's hands, God's timing. And so he was still a subject to the king. He was not going to kill the king. Secondly, that, he wanted God to be the judge of the two of them, if Saul was right or if David was right. So let God act accordingly. But the biggest thing is that David took what we call the high road. We're told in the scriptures that David was a man after God's own heart. He's the only person in scripture that we're told that about, a man after God's own heart. He wanted to do what was right, even though he could have done what was wrong. But you see, David didn't want to stoop to Saul's level. He didn't want to become a Saul to defeat Saul. He wanted to maintain his integrity and his character, which we've talked about so much in the last few weeks. Jesus says the same thing to us. That when you're asked to go a mile, go the extra mile. When someone slaps you on the one cheek, turn the other cheek. You've been told by others to hate your enemies. I'm telling you to love them, pray for them. Take the high road. And this is one of those times in life where you have to look at yourself and you have to take that extra breath and make that extra commitment to take the high road. I'm not going to become something that I do not want to be. I'm not going to do something that I do not want to do. I'm not going to become like other people. I'm going to maintain my integrity, my character. And I pray that you'll do that. You will continue to be the great police officers that you are. And you would continue to do the things which you know to do, and just do it the best way you can. That's the only thing that can be asked of any of us. Just know that our prayers are with you, that we are praying for your safety. We're praying for wisdom and guidance upon all your actions. Just continue to give nothing but your best, and know that the less than 1%ers are less than 1%. That most everyone you see, 95 to 99% of everyone you see, is in full support of you. And so we just want to encourage you today to stay strong, to let you know we're here. If you need to talk to any of the chaplains, please call us. But our prayers are with you. You continue to stay safe. And thank you for letting me share with you today. So Chaplain Boone, signing off.